Hello, my name is Farah Duro. I'm a licensed acupuncturist and reproductive oriental medicine practitioner. And we are going to be doing fertility yoga today. So this is our fertility yoga happy hour. I'm so happy you joined us. And if you have a little tea, you can sip that. This is very relaxing, soothing class. It's going to be restorative poses. And it's perfect for if you want to wind down from the week. We're going to do some breathing exercises and a little bit of hip openers tonight. So thank you for joining me. So we're going to start with gathering a pillow. If you have a pillow here, and we are going to use a chair. So I have this like little bench here. You can do something similar like that. So if you want to just take a moment and grab a chair, you can do that because we're just going to be doing a few poses with a chair tonight. And we also are going to be using our blocks. So if you have a yoga block, you can grab it. If not, no big deal. You can use a pillow. But give it a try if you do have one. We'll be using that. And lastly, a blanket. So your restorative yoga uses a lot of props. So we're going to have our blankets for our first pose, which is actually going to help us sort of ease into the class tonight. So let me just go ahead and see if I can see everyone. Awesome. Okay. Perfect. All right. So if you can grab a blanket, we're going to start with a simple Baddha. So this is just a reclined pose here. So you can stack your pillows and you can grab your blanket. And we're actually going to use an eye pillow. If you have one of those, you can do that. And if not, you can just close your eyes. Still good. Okay, so I want you to lean back. And this is a butterfly pose. So you can actually cross your knees like this. And you're going to lean into your pillows. So you can kind of lean back like this, and just let your arms sort of hang down like this. And just take a deep breath in and close your eyes. And just let the weight of your hips fall into the mat. And we're going to read a little bit of a meditation. So I'd like to have you just find that peaceful place. You can lay down still in supported Baddha. So as I read this to you, so basically you're still laying just flat like this with your arms folded and your hips supported with the pillows. So just take a deep breath in, a few moments, and let it out. And I want you to place your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your lower belly. And take a few moments to feel your breath. Feel your chest expanding and deflating as you inhale and exhale. Feel your body resting against the support beneath it, and let the attention to your breath and your body draw you out of your thoughts and into this moment. Once you feel that a strong, warm, bright love pulsing outward from your heart, I want you to see this love being absorbed in through your left palm, traveling along your arm, across your chest, down your right arm, and out through your right palm, filling your belly with warmth and light. Once you feel that a strong current between your heart and your abdomen, let yourself follow this flow inside your belly and feel that softening under this warm, gentle flow of energy. And once inside your abdomen, you're going to feel yourself in a garden. And take a moment to look around this garden, and without any judgment or attempt to change anything, witness the garden. Notice the colors, the length of the grass, the temperature, and the tones in the sky. When you're ready, move deeper into your garden. At the center of the garden, you'll find a temple. Once again, simply witness the exterior without judgment or control and gaze upon your temple. Take in all the details of this newly discovered place. In your own time, make your way to the temple and enter its doors. Your eyes meet inside, and again, you drink in what you see. Take your time to notice what's being shown to you. What color are the walls? What's the texture of the floor? What are the sounds and smells inside your temple? Walk deeper into your temple, and at its center, find an altar. Here, begin to add things and build your altar. Maybe you add words, images, flowers, fruit, or prayers. Add whatever you feel is most needed right at this moment. In your own time, return to the doors of your temple and open them wide. Invite the flow of love from your heart to wash through your garden and spill inside the space. And just take some deep breaths in. And slowly open your eyes. And you can go ahead and come back into seated pose. Just a nice little visualization to kind of get your mind switched off from your daily activities into today and right now, being here. So next, we're actually going to go into a supported child's pose. So we're going to still use our pillows, and you can actually just snuggle your pillow. Child's pose is basically where your feet are touching, but your hips are open. Okay, so in those hips, you're actually going to grab these pillows, and you're actually going to fall over the pillow and just kind of like lean over like this. And this is actually really good to calm the nervous system. You can kind of let the pillows go underneath your hips. And it's nice to open up the hips as well, add blood flow there. And visualize your lower back sort of sinking in and dropping. It's actually very calming for your nervous system as you kind of bring focus into your sacral area. And if you're having a day where you're feeling tired or your stomach hurts, it's really good for nausea too, this little pose, and for cramps. So I want you just to take a few deep breaths here. And we're going to breathe into this pose. In through the nose and out through the nose. And we're going to still continue to stay in our child's pose. And we're going to be here for a few minutes. So just take a rest, get very comfortable, sink in. Take another deep breath in this pose. And slowly come out of it. You can roll to the side and you can move your pillows a little bit to the edge of the mat. Nice and refreshing, right? Okay, very good. And now we're actually going to do a shoulder and hip circles, but we're going to do it from knees. So you don't have to go very far. You're going to basically hold your hips just like this. And you're going to do a little bit of circling here. So just kind of like open up the hips. And this actually frees up the energy in the lower back and pelvis, and then brings energy down to the root chakra and sacral chakras there. So just kind of go the opposite direction as you're rolling. Notice if you've been sitting all day at a desk, how tight your hips might feel. Sometimes driving a lot, just you don't notice till you actually start moving them a little, how tight that is. And next we're actually going to do shoulder circles. So we're going to actually just move our shoulders back. Take a deep breath in as you go up and exhale down. Now let's go the other way. Good. Okay, and now do you want to just kind of go into your balls of your feet, and you can kind of sit on the balls of your feet just for a moment, just to stretch out. So it kind of looks, a little bit like I'm sitting on my toes in that way. So you're going to basically just do a little stretch to your toes. If you've been standing all day, this actually feels really good. Kind of stretch the toes a little there. Okay, and now we're actually going to go into a chair pose. So this one, I'm going to slide my little stool here, but if you have a chair, you can slide it next to you. And we're going to actually use this. You can do this many ways. I mean, I actually use a block. So I'm going to sit on my block and I'm going to slide this here. So I'll show you that before I slide this. So I'm sitting on my block and I'm actually going into Vasakanasana. So I'm actually kind of using my straddle. I'm kind of sitting there. So this is a little bit of a hip opener. And then I'm going to take my chair and I'm just going to fold forward on my chair just like this. So for a deeper stretch, you can actually put it a little bit further out in front of you. But the goal is basically just to kind of feel a little bit of hip opening there. And you might not have ever done this type of pose with a chair, but I want you just to kind of surrender to it because it feels a lot different. And you're actually going to take some very long, deep breaths. And you're going to feel a calming in the mind when you're going forward. So forward bends are very nourishing for our yin energy, and it nourishes our brain and our nervous system. So we're going to just basically support our forehead with a chair onto our arms like a little cradle. And so stay here for a few minutes and take some deep breaths in. The supported version creates space and softness in the belly, and it nourishes the circulation in the pelvis. You can also do this pose standing or completely seated without a block, but just try it with a block if you have it available and see how it feels. And for a deeper stretch, you can keep moving your little chair if you want to go a little bit deeper into it. Remember to keep doing your deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth or lips. See if your exhalation can be even longer. And you can use your ocean breath like we did last week, or just focus on breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, slowly come out of that one. How are your hips feeling now? A little looser, hopefully. And we are going to do another hip opener. Somebody last week asked for hip openers, so I brought the hip openers this week. Gentle. So you can remove your block. We're going to use it again, but not for this pose. So you can put it on your side there. And we're going to go into a supported pigeon. So if you have your pillow with you, you can bring it here. And you're going to basically bend one knee forward. So I'm going to move this and I'll show you. So basically I'm squaring my hips. I'm bending my right leg and I'm putting my left leg behind me. Okay, so I'm kind of squaring my hips and I'm going to actually use this pillow and I'm going to fall into pigeon in my pillow. So you might feel that this is a pretty big hip opener. You might feel a stretch there. And you're going to just stay here. We're going to do a few minutes on each side. So I want you to just pay attention to any areas of discomfort. If you feel tightness, one side might feel more tight than the other, but I'm going to just stay here for a few minutes and practice our breathing. Again, deep breath in. A loud ocean breath. Ocean breath is just clearing the throat a little bit, like a Darth Vader breathing. So you're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. If you need to add another pillow, you can do that. You can add one more. And just slowly come out of it. You can keep your pillows here, and we're going to actually just bring your left knee slowly to the front, and we're going to change sides. So we're going to keep our left knee now out and kind of square it like a 90-degree angle if you can, and then square your hip, extend your back leg, and you're going to feel a little bit of a stretch in that right side. Grab your pillows again and just bring them close to you, and then you're going to fold down once more. Take your deep breath in and pull forward. With any sensation, what you're feeling. If this side is a little tight, you can adjust a little bit. If it's too much for you, you can move your knee in a little further, closer to you. If you need more stretch, you can move it out a little more, but try not to twist your knee. Try to make sure that picking my flower back here. Try to make sure that your hip is squared in the back there. So we're gonna fall forward and breathe into it. And this moment over here, there's some stress or problems because you are in this moment right now. So close your eyes and focus on being in here. And this mat with these pillows, with any tightness, if you will breathe into that. area you're holding tension. Take a moment to breathe into that and slowly come out of pigeon. So we can gently move your hips around a little. You can stretch your legs out. And we're going to grab our block once more. And we're going to put this, ooh, feel good. I feel all the circulation going in the body now. We're going to move our block here. And if you want to keep your pillows, you could do that. Maybe one pillow actually for this one. So this is a supported bridge pose. We're going to put our bolster or brick here, and we're basically our block, and we're going to put it underneath our sacrum. So you can actually just kind of, the best way is to actually lay flat and just prop it up here. Okay, so we're actually just gonna let our hips kind of sink into our block and our arms open. Then relax the belly, the pelvic floor, and the inner thighs. And breathe into your belly all the way up to the lungs. So this pose is really good to come into if you have anxiety, if you're feeling like low energy. It's actually really nice. It's calming, but yet energizing at the same time. And you can actually use this, like, I kind of like it without the pillow more, but totally up to you. And just kind of focusing on breathing into my belly. A few deep breaths, and we're going to hold it here. If you feel still that there's a little bit of tension in your sacrum, you can move the block a little bit just to kind of get it comfortable there. And you can keep your feet, your knees bent in this position, totally fine. For those of you that want to have a little stretch, and this is restorative yoga, you can actually open up your hips a little bit into Baddha Konasana and let your knees fall open and feel another extra little stretch in the hips there. You can move your feet closer if you feel like it's too intense on your lower back. You can move that a little bit. What's your soles of your feet touch? And just hold this for a few moments more. You might actually feel your hips really starting to open now that we've done the pigeon, done a few others, and it's starting to release and relax a little more. So you might feel your hips sinking. You could put your hands on top of your hip bones and see if they're even. And also, if they're not, if one side feels higher than the other, notice if there's tension on that side and kind of, try to breathe into that a little bit and see if you can get them to even a little bit more. You might not be able to. That's okay. We're not forcing it. Notice the sensations right now in your hips, in your lower back. Yeah, if Padmasana is getting too intense, you can bend your knees. You can bring your legs out of that and just bend your knees and kind of slowly, gently rock your knees from side to side if your back feels tight. If you're on your moon time, this is actually really nice to help with any cramping or lower back pain. You're going to slowly remove your block, set it out of the way, and roll to your side. And we're going to actually go back into our seated pose, and we're going to grab our chair one last time. And this might be the first time you've actually done Shavasana with a chair. And if it is, it's actually really, really relaxing. So you want to grab your chair, and you're basically going to use it to stack your legs. This is a little high actually, but let's see. You can put a blanket on top if you like, but basically you're going to kind of go onto your back, and you're gonna bring your legs on top of your chair, and you're just gonna like let your knees relax, your hips relax, and fold your arms to the side. And this actually feels very different to me than the typical Shavasana when you're completely flat. So this has a lot of benefits of actually helping with blood flow to the pelvis, gets you into a little bit of a deeper relaxation. If you don't have a chair, you can use a pillow. And I want you to take a moment to do a little check to see if there's any little bit of tension left anywhere in your back, your shoulders, your neck. You can kind of take a moment to settle in. And we're gonna see if we can kind of melt that tension to your mat or your rug, and let your hips sink in even further into your mat. Just take a few moments to slowly wiggle your hands and your feet. Notice if your breath has slowed. And just gently take your legs into your chest. You can kind of rock a little bit from side to side. And slowly roll onto your side. You can keep your eyes closed. And just take a moment to wish yourself a little bit of gratitude for getting through this week. And also for if you've had any disappointments or any stress, anything you didn't want to hear that happened this week, just let it go. Take a deep breath and breathe it out. And breathe out all the stress and tension. You know, tomorrow is another day, a new chance. We're going to end the class with a nostril breath. I wasn't sure if we were going to have time, but I would like to just give you this tool if you need it for any kind of a situation where you feel anxious. This is called Nadi Chadhana, and it basically is done by holding your hand like a little position, kind of like this, but you're going to add your ring finger there. So it looks like this on the inside. And you're going to use your thumb and your ring finger to actually close alternate nostrils. So if you're right-handed, you can start with your right hand, and if you're left-handed, do that way. So we're going to just give it a try tonight, see how it feels. And you're basically just going to breathe through one side. So we're going to start with breathing, closing our right nostril with our thumb and breathing in through the left, holding our breath and breathing out through the opposite side. So you can sit on a block if you want to have a little more opening of your ribs when you're breathing, or not, you can sit flat. And we're going to give it a try. So basically we're going to breathe in, hold the breath, and breathe out through the opposite side. And notice if you feel anything like a little bit stuffy. There's a lot of allergies going on this time of year, especially in Florida here. So we're gonna take a deep breath in, hold it, breathe out the other side. You might feel a difference on one side or another. It's okay. And breathe in through the other side. We're gonna hold it, close the nostril, and breathe out through the other one. I'll do one more set of 4. And notice if you feel a little calmer. It's actually a really good technique to do when you have a procedure coming up or you're feeling any kind of anxiety. It can actually help. And also, if you need focus, if you are getting a little bit foggy headed because you've been staring at a screen for a really long time, it can actually help your focus. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. I wish you the best week possible. And I want to thank you for taking time out to practice tonight. So namaste. And I will see you guys back next week, next Thursday. Have a good week, everybody.